In the holiday of Purim, Haman wanted to eradicate the Jewish people. And what does he tell Achashverosh? There's a certain nation, Yeshnu Am Echad, there's a certain nation scattered among all the other nations, and they're kind of doing their own thing. They have their own traditions, their own customs, right? And he starts planting seeds of anti-Semitism. And he then tells Achashverosh, I'll pay you, but I'd like to be the hitman for these people. Achashverosh says, don't be ridiculous. You don't have to pay. I'm on this with you, right? How did this happen? Don't we have security with God? Where did we fall short? When tragedies happen, calamities happen, especially to ourselves, not so much to other people, we have to ask ourselves, where did we fall short? How can we do teshuvah? Commentaries point out something fascinating. What does Haman tell Achashverosh? Yeshno am echad. There's a certain nation. There's a singular nation. The word yeshno, which means there is, can also be read yeshanu. There's a nation that's sleeping. Yes, they're spiritual. Yes, they're secure. Yes, they have a connection. And yes, they're indestructible from a soul level, but they're sleeping. They're not living consistently with their values. They have the values. They believe in the values. But on the outside, they're sleeping. Now we can infiltrate. And the solution is we got to wake up, realign ourselves, connect to the emet, recite the Shema, affirm that we actually believe this, wake ourselves up. That's what prayer is all about. It's a wake-up call. As soon as we woke up, as soon as Mordechai gathered all the Jewish children, rallied them and said, we are strong Jews. We are resilient Jews. We're going to study Torah no matter what. You know what happened? At that point, the king's sleep was disturbed. As soon as we woke up, the king woke up. It had a global impact. We want to fight anti-Semitism. We got to wake up. We got to wake up from the inside. I'll tell you a great story. We had a Hanukkah party several months ago at the ice skating rink. And there's this lady who joined. It's her first time joining a Chabad event. She was a little nervous or apprehensive. Somebody pushed her to go. Okay, it's ice skating. What's the worst that could happen? I've met this lady before and had several interactions. Very nice person. I had the opportunity to meet her children. 2 young teenagers in public school. And one of them is wearing a Hanukkah sweater. You know, the ugly Hanukkah sweater? I said, I like your sweater. Jewish pride. I love it. It's, you know, it said Hanukkah on it, had a menorah on it. The mother looks at me with this big smile in her eyes and she says, he even wore it at school today. He was willing to demonstrate his Jewish values at school, to not hide from them, to live with emet, to live with truth. There's another fellow in the community. He was going on a cruise several weeks ago. I spoke to him before the cruise. I'm not even sure how we ended up speaking about this, but I said, look, you're a Jew. You're going to see other Jews there. Wear your kippah on the cruise. Wear your kippah. Be proud, rocket man. Be proud of who you are. It's going to give you opportunity to connect with other Jews. It's going to give you opportunity to inspire other Jews. You're going to feel great inside. You're going to feel that you're living your life more aligned, more consistent. He actually did it. I was in such awe. He's telling me the stories of other Jewish people coming up to him and him building meaningful relationships and connections and having the opportunity. It was beautiful. It's emet. It's true. Contrast Joseph to his brothers. Joseph was in Egypt at this point for many, many years when he got sold, and he rose to power. He became the viceroy of Egypt. His brothers come for food. The brothers don't recognize Joseph. Joseph recognizes the brothers. Why is that? Well, because when Joseph was sold, he was 17 years old. At this point, he's in his 30s. He has facial hair. They look pretty much the same. He looks completely different. They don't recognize him, right? That's true in our physical reality, but everything that's true in a physical reality is true in the metaphysical realities as well. They didn't recognize Joseph because what Joseph represented, truth, that was quite foreign to them. You mean you can go to Egypt, the most spiritually corrupt of lands of the time, and still maintain your Jewish sacred values, still be consistent with your Judaism, still live truthfully? Come on. I don't believe it. They've never left the shtetl. They've never went to a place where there was no minyan. They've never left Los Angeles, Brooklyn, Israel. The brothers. They stayed in their Jewish shtetl. They were shepherds. This was foreign to them. You could connect and remain true to your Judaism, true to your value, not because of the environment, but because it's who you are. You create that environment. What? They didn't recognize Yosef. They didn't recognize Emet.